music for Lagos.
102.3 Max FM.
All right, it's 18 minutes past 12 o'clock right now, 15th day in the month of May. Beautiful Monday. We're having new music review on the radio, and we just listened to Benson, formerly known as Buju, and that's his brand new single out. It's titled Pray. And I just found out that Emimimo means Holy Spirit.
I've been working now.
I had no idea.
I had to pray.
I had no idea. So let's just get straight into it right now. Adeayo.
Oh, go on.
Let's start off.
Let's enter this one.
Let's start off with your tweets. You said it was painfully what?
One-dimensional.
One-dimensional. Please, can you buttress further?
So when it comes to Buju Benson, you always know what to expect in terms of his melody. Like the melodic sequence, his flows, his flow scheme, his technique. It's like once you start singing, you could probably guess the next sequences in which the melody will follow. That's the way he has been, especially when he's on a song alone. So there's nothing to see that is like new, refreshing, or dynamic. It's just really one way. It's just like a one track
style.
I don't want to call him a one trick pony, but that's why I say it's one dimensional. His style is very one dimensional, and that's why I'm not as excited.
But why is that a problem? Because I feel this thing you're complaining about is why people like Buju, because they kind of like
artists as well, like,
exactly. So why is it a problem?
Okay, so why is me? I wouldn't say it's entirely a problem, but why I would say it's not essentially great is that when you listen to songs, is on the record alone. It has a like lower power quality compared to when he features other people or when he's covering someone else's song.
He's always stronger on the feature.
Yes, he always struggles, so to say, on his own song. I mean, I could ask you, name three Buju song alone that you like, and you would maybe have one or two. Yeah, you have one or two, but the rest is just like it's not a bad song. It's an okay song.
I like Daniel Benson.
Yeah, and they're very similar.
And I like Pray.
Yeah, all three of them all similar. Like in terms of how it sounds, all similar. So it does get boring at some point, and there's nothing exciting listening to just him alone. I don't have fun.
So you don't think that the fact that they even went as far as infusing a bit of that orchestra and choir feel to this music, because that's one thing that I gotta say really caught me. It really caught me listening to the music. I could hear the lyrics. The chorus is very relative.
Yes.
I own the chorus immediately because I could really own it and say, yes, Holy Spirit, I've been putting in work. I want some Dangote money, you know what I mean, and stuff like that.
Are you putting in Dangote?
Yes.
Story final that they continue.
No, like you should ask, am I putting in Dangote money to get the Dangote type of money? I don't have Dangote type of money. The same money will work for you. But then, also those, very, very little details as the choir, are parting and harmonizing underneath. It brought a different feel as well, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you know.
So that didn't like give you any breath of fresh air.
Fresh air.
No, not really. What I would say it's musical. It just adds to the artistic touch of the whole composition. I wouldn't say it necessarily makes it sonically dynamic or sonically like exciting for me, but it does make it artistically like it gives it artistic depth. The fact that I was able to like incorporate the Kabusa Oriental Choir and use their vocals and also like brought some sort of modern church element into the song.
Yeah,
that's artistic depth. It achieves artistic depth, but it doesn't necessarily elevate the composition in a way that increases its gratification. For example, like when you hear Zanza of Ashake, that's church music. That's basically church music. The way the melody is laid and everything. But the overall composition is more exciting because of how it delivers, how dynamic it is, how different it sounds. When you hear Yoga of Ashake, it's also church music. It's something they call where in CNS church. Even though like if you want to even like move away from CNS church and like dive deeper, it goes as way back as like Yoruba traditional folk music that is used in terms of spiritual and traditional procession. So it does sounds different, right? So you can like your approaches can be different, but when there's no artistic, like in terms of delivery, melody, there's no like elevated approach to it. You're just doing that to just like maybe just make it sound different, but it doesn't really do it for me. So I feel again, prayer is like a church music, like in terms of the lyrics.
Basically
it is
the feel as well.
The feel and everything is it's church music, but it's still just really, really. Let me just put it like this: it's a bit too Benson for me.
So what you're saying is, it sounds a bit too much like the Benson that we've known all this while.
Yeah, it sounds like if the song Benson would make and probably keep making, because that's probably the only style he has. I think that's
it's very interesting that he's saying this, because praise, like, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Benson, but I would say for a while now, the songs he's been releasing are
because she said she didn't like Gwagwalada.
I didn't like Gwagwalada.
You know,
I didn't like it.
Yeah,
so like, but when I listened to the song, I was like, this is the guy that I fell in love with. Like, this is the sauce. Yes. Yeah. So now it's. I mean, it felt very sad for me when I saw your post, and then I'd seen posts like that too. But then, personally, I don't think it's a bad thing, because that Benson's flow
is the flow that you missed.
That I like. Is the flow that I missed.
So let's do something. Let's go play that record again, and then we'll continue this conversation when we come back in a bit. We'll continue reviewing and dissecting through this song when we come back in a jiffy. Whatever it is you're thinking as well, we might have time to take it. In between this very fiery dissect, hit us up via SMS or WhatsApp 08022 138505 08022 138505. But in the meantime, here's the record again. Listen.
Alright, it's 28 minutes now past 12 o'clock. We just listened to Benson, formerly known as Buju, and that one is called Pray. And off air, Skills and I were saying something about this song. Skills, please do the honors, mention it
honestly,
on air.
I love this jam, and I feel like this is my record right now.
Why?
Why? Because the meaning of the song, first and foremost, the meaning that he has, I can so relate. It's such an essential song, if you ask me. And then, of course, Buju adding his own style of doing music and then putting a message that, is really drivey behind it. I can relate. Matter of fact, I can own it. And, me, I suck with lyrics of songs. But then after just 3 listens
of this one,
I learned the lyrics, from the verse to the chorus after just 3 listens. So for me, I feel like, when it comes to, the writing as well, he did pretty good. He didn't make it too complicated. But he passed the message in a very simplistic way, if you ask me. That's what I also think. But I don't know about you guys, though.
Adeayo, what do you think? I'm just the panelist right now.
Yeah, so like you said, I agree with him. It's a message. It's a song whose message resonates with listeners. A lot of people. Yeah, just cuts across everybody. Because at the end of the day, we all have something we're praying for. Or something we're trying to achieve. We all have something when we go to bed, when we wake up, we just say a quiet prayer in our mind that we want this, one, that. So it's a message you cannot go wrong with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way he infuses the old church stuff, the way he uses the more and stuff like that. So you get like feel where it's coming from, and the delivery, the melody kind of like, maybe I think it works in terms of like inspiring some sort of emotions.
Yeah,
yes,
but
don't you think that's one of the things that music should do? Like
yes,
when you make music that people connect with, within their spirit. I see that as a strong point for this song. If you
that's one of the positives. The fact that people are able to feel. People are able to feel. I mean, that for a song like La Bianca, shout out La Bianca's people. That's what makes the song sticky, because people are able to feel what she's saying.
Yeah.
Like in their lonely hours, they're able to digest the song better. So for this kind of song, I feel like it's not really something out of the blue. People make this kind of song a lot of times, and. But I think it works on that level. The fact that it's sticky, it resonates with the audience, But
at what point does it bore you then?
It just bores me because it's just the same style.
So what do you think you should have done differently? Do you think you should have maybe featured someone?
No. I don't think. The interesting thing is that I do not think he's going to do any better than this, to be honest. Because he's been doing the same thing for 3 years now, and he has not changed. He's just doing the same thing. So I feel it's his style, and it doesn't look like he's committed to altering that style.
Don't you think this style can take him as far as he wants to go? Like,
there's some things that I cannot entirely say for sure.
Because for instance, so let me make it a very typical example, a very interesting example. Lil Wayne's style is Lil Wayne's style, and that Lil Wayne style took him as far as he wanted to go. He made him one of the greatest rappers in the world. So don't you think that this Buju style, without really changing it that much, can take him as far as he wants to go?
Yeah, but I mean, Lil Wayne is not like the best example, because Lil Wayne is a rapper, and there's just so many variants to rap. It's that mumble rap, trap, and this and that. But as an Afro-pop artist, you need to be able to switch it up once in a while. And Rema, he has his own style. But it does not sound like monotonous all the time.
Okay.
Same thing with Ruga. Ruga has his own style. He does predominantly dancehall raga. and then it takes time. It takes time.
I don't think we should be mentioning Ruga right now while we're talking about this. I'm sorry.
Oh, because of the
the
little
let's
they
not
had.
let's use some of that person's name. I'm just joking. Don't mind me.
So I mean, he like he has no style. I mean, does mostly dancehall raga, then sometimes does a bit of R&B, but it doesn't sound monotonous. I think the fact that you have your own style doesn't necessarily mean you sound monotonous. Everybody has their own style, but they know when to switch it up, when to spice it up and everything. From even O'Malley, everybody. So Benson does sound monotonous. It's obviously and ostensibly monotonous, and that's the only issue I have with his singles, and that's why I say his own songs personally they really work. When he's left alone on the song, they really work
for you.
But then the
song
for you,
this song is doing well.
It's number 3
on
right
Apple
now,
Music now.
Yeah, I mean, with that, I mean, it's something that happens all the time. How many times have we seen a song go number 1 and and then nothing happens? It's just when you're big artist and you drop a song, you are definitely going to get to like top 5 of the streaming chart.
I feel you.
It's necessary. It's just normal because that first day listening alone, and Apple Music is a chart that gets refreshed every 12 hours. So that first day listening alone is going to get you up there. Then what happens next?
Yeah.
What's happened? Like when a particular song dropped 2 weeks ago, and I said this song, I don't think the song is going to work. I don't think the song.
What song is that? Tell us.
And people said, "Oh, this and that. You cannot say. Give it time." And I mean, we're still counting. We're like 2 weeks in now.
Just tell me the song. Let me know if I agree with you.
That's someone. Fireboy, someone.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but the song did like get to maybe like top 5, I think, of Apple Music chart and stuff. So. I know this Buju is like a numbers magnet to an extent because he has like a very strong fascination with numbers. So in my work, I think it might work on the level, but not on the level of Gagalada or what was his last collaboration?
I think it was Gagalada.
It might be on the level of Trabulski, where he was alone too, and he did the same thing he's been doing all this while, and the song just like people just listen and just move on. It's not okay. It was not
I don't think this is the song that people move on from, Sha. Because I moved on from Gagalada and Trabulski, but I'm still stuck on.
You have a pattern already, so let's
let's go play some music, and when we come back, the review continues in a bit. Though we're digging in still deeper, into this one right there. Yes.
All right, it's 12:42 now, and that was Benson with "Pray." This song was actually produced by Magic Sticks. Let's talk about the beats, because with everything we've been saying, we haven't spoken about the
I feel you.
The beats.
And if you ask me, I feel like the beat is actually like also really dope. Shout out to Magic Sticks, by the way. That's Ashake's popular producer. The same guy who produced majority of Ashake's hits.
Yeah.
So I love the beat as well, and then I love what the choir did. To back up the music. I love Benson's message. I love his feel, as always. I've said this before, like one of the songs that Benson actually did, I didn't really know the essence of the song, was that Omwelewa, but then I love this feel, the way Benson does his feel, like Auntie Shalewa, Agbabola, he was flowing and doing his thing. So I always love Benson's feel from day one, even though Adia is saying he needs to switch away from that feel. Me, I always love it. The beat, I feel like the beat is actually dope as well, and then the elements backing up this song. I really love this record, for real.
I love it too. But it's interesting that you brought up Omelewa.
Yeah.
Because I think that Omelewa, songs like that, songs like Trabulski, are Benson, Buju putting in efforts to give us a breath of fresh air, for lack of better words. I think those were the intentions, or that was the intention for songs like that.
No, it was just
because I wonder why
that song was just too
like
sweet.
The
intention was just to score an easy hit, and it didn't work.
Yeah, it can't work.
You wanted to score an easy hit song, but
Omelewa was a hit song. It was a hit song. Actually,
was it a hit?
Yes, it was a hit.
People talk about the song.
It was viral everywhere. It was viral everywhere. We loved it.
Omelewa compared to Gwagwalada is a hit.
No, Gwagwalada is a hit, but Omelewa also hit the top spot on Apple Music as well. And then also on the streets, people also loved it. Everywhere you go, they were playing that record. And even as a music person, I feel like it's a sweet record, honestly.
You think so?
Yes, it is.
I don't know. I think for him, he likes to do this. He likes to. He puts himself across as someone who doesn't chase it, but time and time again, he has done things that suggest otherwise. And songs like Omolewa just shows that, like, okay, you're just trying to use a TikTok sound to make a hit song, which again I still think didn't work out. Because how you know a song works or not, or a project works or not, is how fast the artist moves on from that project. So if you drop an album and 2 months later you're dropping a new song, clearly the album didn't work.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I disagree.
Really?
Not necessarily.
Give us one proof.
One example.
Here's
what I'm saying.
Example.
So one thing about artists that I also know is the fact that, you know, a lot of times, you know, music artists would do, okay, for instance, I hear now for so many artists, and then we draw up plans of release and stuff like that. Even before we put out the first song, we already have a plan of this is the next song, this is when we're dropping the next song. So sometimes it's an intentional thing to drop songs, you know, close to each other. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that because the first single didn't work, that's when you drop the next one immediately.
Yeah, I understand.
For instance, I'm working with one artist like that, and we have 2 songs that we want to make, you know, the release very sticky, you know, together. You know, I'm doing that, you know, with an artist, you know, from the US presently. So sometimes it might not be because the first one did not work.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but again, as you say, like Omoilewa, I wouldn't say it's a song that worked. But then Trabosky is like Sarah was saying, maybe it's a bit of fresh air. Yeah, it tried doing Amapiano on Trabosky.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the melody is still the same from Omoilewa to Trabosky. If you take him out of, like, take him away from an Afropop beat and give him an Amapiano beat, his flow, his melody will still be the same thing. His identity is still going to impress the identity on this record the way he would normally do. So, and that for me, I find that to be a bit tedious, like sonically tedious. But I mean, it's worked for him so far. I mean, if we can say that he has worked, I mean, like every artist aims to get to a higher level. And he's on tour right now.
Yeah.
Independent tour. And I think he's doing well for himself with the tour and everything. So shout out everybody.
So on a scale of 1 to 10 though, like if you gotta rate this one, Adeayo, how would you rate it?
Oh, so I think the writing is good. Production, Majestic production is good, and I like the vocals, you know, the crowd vocals of the Kabusa Oreta choir. So those 3 are the reason I'm going to, any good rating they get is for the efforts of those 3 and those 3 alone. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Wow. So nothing Buju did for you?
Nothing that he has not been doing before.
Wow.
Man. For you, on a scale of 1 to 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this song an 8. Okay. An 8 because it's been a long time since I listened to something from Buju that I really, you know, connected with, and I enjoyed that. And then every other thing that he mentioned joined together, made the song a beautiful record. So I really like the song. It's already on my like personal playlist. That's how much I like the song. Yeah. So 8 over 10 for me, and A.
Man, it will get a 9 from me. Like, you know, I know you guys be like, yo, Bill, what's in yourself? But then, like,
no,
you know, I really feel like, you know, everything you've said, plus the fact that this song is so connective, you know, to me and to, you know, a lot of people out there, and it has meaning, you know, it will get a 9 for me, you know, right there. But then that's, you know, so much time that we have to really, you know, break this down. Of course, we have to thank you to, you know, Adeayo Adebi, you know, for coming through as always. Mondays, always look forward to, you know, hearing this very insightful, you know, dissect and review of music, you know, from a very objective stance. He's always doing it objectively, and I love that, you know, about him as well. But also, before we go, don't forget, you know, there's something that we're also doing. You can now send us voice notes, you know, on the show to tell us what part of the show, you know, you're loving, what you're feeling, you know, at different, you know, part of the show, you know, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., you know, what you're feeling. Let's get to hear your voice, and we're going to be putting that on there as well.
Yeah.
So you can always do that to the WhatsApp line 081 801 443 43. All right, we'd like to, you know, hear what it is that you're thinking about, you know, your favorite segment, some of the things that we also talk about as well. You can always tell us what you feel about all of that. But let's get back to more music in the meantime. All right, we're still
Thank you so much for joining us on the show, Adeayo.
Yes.
Hit music for Lagos. 102.3 Max FM.